This is actually 2 episodes of Locals smashed into one.
Chuck everything whilst you're opening. It's just the graveyard of packs that I've opened.
Right, I've never been so unprepared for Locals as I have this week. I'm not too confident about today. Jordan Lockbird was in every single game I played.
It's the same as last week, guys. I have not practiced at all.
I will seize encore.
So you can't activate. Once per turn.
It's not once per turn. Right guys, this is actually 2 episodes of Locals smashed into one because when I was coming to edit, I realised that for those 2 weeks, I had no practice during the week, I had nothing going on Yu-Gi-Oh wise, all I did was turn up and play and I didn't really film much outside of that. I didn't want to make 2 episodes out of content that to be honest I wasn't really too happy with, but I still want to show you guys the journey from each week to see how I'm progressing. So here is 2 weeks of Locals put into one.
So for those of you that are wondering how I film all of my pack openings and stuff on this channel, all my deck reviews and deck build updates, I have quite literally the smallest amount of space on my desk. And you can see I've got the tripod set up here and it's just on my desk. Like, it's such a tight space, but I am currently working on building out a workshop in the garden so that I can move all that stuff outside and hopefully make something a lot more grand and cinematic and something that will work a lot better for actually being able to film these openings. So for now, sticking with this. Hopefully soon it will look a lot better. I don't know how many of you guys actually create content for your YouTube channels, opening packs or doing any of these things, but here's what like the aftermath looks like of me opening. So here's all the cards that I've got on the table, and then on the floor, just because that's where you just chuck everything whilst you're opening, is just the graveyard of packs that I've opened. And now I have the task of just having to pick them all up one by one and just go, that cost me a lot of money, that cost me a lot of money. But a little sneak preview, we did manage to get ourselves a barrel from our Supreme Darkness. So do we go for a couple more? We'll see. We'll do some play testing.
Right, I've never been so unprepared for Locals as I have this week. Actually, maybe in week 1 when I had no idea what to expect. I'm in the car now. I haven't really played much Yu-Gi-Oh for the last week or 2 for a long time. I've been really busy, away on weekends, and I'm not too confident about today. Even though last Locals went really well, it could be a rough one today because I haven't practiced with the deck, so I'm going to forget stuff. And yeah, let's just hope we don't come up against all the meta Ryzel decks the whole time, because otherwise it could be a sad day. Right, it is 5 to 11 and registration is by 11, so I'm going to need to run in, so there's not going to be much B-roll or anything happening right now. I'm just going to have to get to Locals and hope for the best.
So Locals was relatively quiet this week, so we only had 3 matches rather than the usual 4, but this was match number 1. So game 1 today had us up against Ryzel, and we ended up actually drawing this game. So we lost the first game, won the second game, and then just time, absolute draw. And you know what? I will take a draw against Ryzel because it is, along with Malice, one of the best decks in the meta. So the fact that I can take wins against this deck is good enough for me. So match 1, draw. Game 2 had us up against a red Dragon Archfiend themed deck with the Resonators and all of the synchro summoning. Not a deck that I've come up against before, so it was a really interesting one to go through. You'll see in this recording I actually managed to just get the Gimmick Puppet FTK off, so actually I had to go into Game 2 just having no idea what deck he was playing, so I lost the second game just based on not being able to side anything out. But we did then win Game 3, so match 2 ended up being a win. So after a draw and a win, I was really hoping for a game 3 to get another win so we could finish 2 wins, 1 draw, no losses, and that would have put us pretty high up in the standing for the day.
we came up against Melodious, and to be honest with you, the deck is so confusing. There's so many things going on. Had no idea what to negate, what to do. So we ended up losing both those games. I think we lost like going first twice. I think we went first on the dice roll and then we lost into game 2 as well. But you know what? Sometimes, especially when you're playing a deck that you don't understand, you've just got to take the L and take it into next week and hope that you can play better against it.
So we just finished locals for this week. It was a little bit quieter than usual as there's a bug going around, so a lot of people couldn't make it in. We did okay. We went 1-1-1. So it was only 3 rounds just because there was less people. And we made some mistakes. We actually managed to do the FTK properly, as in from start to finish, in turn 1, more than we have in any other tournament. Unfortunately, Droll and Lockbird was in every single game I played. I pretty much got drolled every game apart from the ones where I managed to FTK. So apart from Called By, I need to work out a way where I can play under it and maybe do something, but it really did mess me up when it got done.
I'm having to huddle around my coffee machine to make an espresso this morning before I leave. It's absolute chaos in here.
As you can see, it's like a scene out of Dexter because we've been painting the ceilings because we just had it all replastered. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that today, and I don't have to worry about how crap this all looks because it's Locals Day. And it's the same as last week, guys. I have not practiced at all. I've had a week of busyness and sorting out stuff like this, working a lot, and just haven't had time to pick up the cards at all. So last week was, I think we came 5th or something, just with no practice, just doing exactly what we've always done. So let's see if we can try and get a top 4 today with no practice, because that will just mean that, again, this deck is just one that I know like the back of my hand. So any mistakes, they're just on me for not practicing. But without further ado, let's get to locals. So I feel like that monologue was a bit of a foreshadowing for how badly the start of this day went. So first game, we came up against a Rizal Fiendsmith deck with Bystials as well. So it was kind of just Gimmick Puppet's worst nightmare. Not only is it Rizal that's bad enough, but also putting the Bystials in there that can banish my Gimmick Puppets from grave. We ended up losing this one 2-0. It's never nice when you don't take a game even when you're going first. Like, it's quite rare nowadays, especially with this deck, that I end up going 0-2. But today, that deck absolutely destroyed me. So starting the day, 0-1. So, match number 2. If Rizal Fiendsmith Bystial couldn't have been bad enough, we have my first game ever against Malice. Now, I don't know how, but no one at Locals has decided to play it up until recently, and now there's a couple of people that are. And I had no side deck against Malice because no one was playing it, so I had nothing to respond to when they were banishing cards. So, again, this was the second game in a row, 2 losses, no wins, and that puts us on 0-2 for the day, and very depressed about the fact that we could have gone from the dizzy heights of finishing top and getting good at the game and then going all the way down and finishing last because of Rizal and Malice. Right, so can we get some luck going into match number 3? Game 1 Rizal, game 2 Malice, and match 3, oh, we're into Rizal Fiendsmith again. Now, this was match number 3, and at that point, my brain was just going, oh, this day is just done. I'm just going to go 0-4 for the day, and that's just going to be it. But we actually managed to 2-0 the Rizal Fiendsmith, and there was actually some really, really good play. I think that, did we get a bit lucky? Maybe. We sided out for game number 2. We sided in Xyz Encore, and I'm actually going to play the clip that follows on to how I won the second duel, because we managed to draw 2 of them and use it to quite literally win the game. So 2-0, and you'll get to watch that bit now.
So I will make Terminator.
I will
So
Seize Encore.
it'll be chain 1 detonator.
Yeah.
Tiger Fist disease.
It detaches all material and you can't respond to it.
General rule of thumb is keep stuff out of the middle zone.
Yeah, I've learned that
So
these
this will detach these and the detonator will
And
attack.
it goes back to extra deck.
Does it bounce it? Does it?
Yeah, it bounces it back to extra deck.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it still resolve if it's bounced back to extra deck? I don't think it does.
No, because the thing it's doing is attaching a card anyway.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
If you wanted to play around Nib for this area line, you would just summon Soprano here, and use into a 12, bring back the area boss. If you wanted to do more, probably.
What does that do?
So you can't activate.
So
Once per turn. That's it.
it's not once per turn.
I don't really do this.
It's not once per.
It's usually this.
So that bounces back.
Painful but annoying.
I think you would
Okay, so
if you're going, I'm going to play around Infund, you're not feels bad to turn off and then play
He
into
feels to get all the way to the choke point.
and then being like, I'm now playing things on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is yours. I'm just probably go for next.
because you're just going to hit me with a token. So
And the dual game.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I sided these in for game 2, and the fact that I managed to get 2 of them on the field is just so unlucky. One of the reasons I was asking, are you playing Rise? Because the whole reason I put those in was because I'm pretty sure you're just going to exceed into Rise, and I know that's my board breaker stuff for Rise. Well played, man.
So now that we've gone from 0-2 to 1-2, the final game was against a Kashtira deck. Now, classically, Kashtira is my absolute kryptonite because they just banish all your cards and send them all away and there's nothing you can do about it. And especially if they manage to mill the one Gimmick Puppet card you need, you just lose. But we managed to actually 2-0 this Kashtira deck, and my favourite thing about it is one of the wins was with Gimmick Puppet of Leo. We managed to get the 3 Destiny counters on it and win the duel because we had Mansion up and he had no way of getting rid of it, and he didn't have anything with high enough attack to get rid of the Leo, so we just won by default for getting 3 counters. I don't think that will ever happen again, but I was happy with that. Finishing 2-2.